And we are back with this messy edition of the Doing All Right podcast on a Friday. I'm in the headquarters. Bryan is on his last day in Surprise, Arizona. Remote there. He'll be back in the stew with us on Monday. You'll be back in the stew with us Monday?
I shall be back in the studio on Monday. Yes, I've missed you. I've missed you guys a lot. I really have.
He will be back in the stew. Today, we got 4 players. I think we got some interesting cats here, Bryan. I ain't gonna lie to you, man.
Okay.
I ain't gonna lie to you, man. We're gonna talk about them a little bit later. But boy, Bryan, I think I found another 2 out of these guys, another second rounder out of these guys. We'll cross that bridge whenever we get there. Some topical Cowboy stuff. I'm all in these social media streets, Bryan Broaddus. I was fighting all day yesterday on Twitter. Did you see it, Bryan?
Man, I was trying to help you in some ways, but it was a little overwhelming out there in the streets. You know what? I admire what you did, man. I admire what you. I believe in what you've done. I thought it was a good topic, and you know what? I'm all about the Dak Prescott window. So I'm doing everything I can to help the quarterback right now. Is what I'm doing, and so I don't have a problem with anything you did, but man, there was a lot of resounding no's out there. No. But, there was a couple of folks that, Kate went with you on that. So it's good that people are keeping open minds.
We got 18,000 views on that clip. You know what I'm saying? I know that make some people around here happy. But hey, man, if y'all want to fuss about it, y'all go and look it up on Twitter or whatever. Bryan, me and you were kind of chatting back and forth. I wanted some some additional information, nothing too extra. But it was a lot floating around yesterday. The big topic was the compensation. Mm-hmm. Me and you kind of went back and forth about it. I don't know how much you want to put out. I'll kind of let you say what you need to say, Bryan. But, there's a lot of news about offers and how much that one team would put up versus another team. Bryan, from your phone, have you heard anything pertaining to that?
Yeah, we didn't have any day baseball yesterday, so I was able to kind of work my phone a little bit while we were here in Arizona. And what I was gathering is that there's not been an offer made. That would be news to them. As far as are we talking about the 2 1s or a 1 and players and Osa and whoever? Just give your various combinations that you would try and think about to go get Maxx Crosby. But on the Cowboys side of things, I was been told there has not been an offer. And I was talking with some of my folks last night around the league, just trying to get a little bit of an idea. We had Trey Wingo on 105.3 The Fan. I think Trey is really, I think he's tapped into this thing. I think he's tapped in. I think he's maybe on the Raiders side of things. I could be wrong about that, but I really like Trey. I respect the heck out of him. I think he's one of the original ones that was talking about during the trade deadline that they were interested in moving this guy. He took a lot of grief for that, but they were talking about it. But from the Cowboys end of things, I'm just not getting that feeling that they made an offer yet. That there hasn't been what I talked about, the ones or the players or whatever you want to do. So we can keep an eye on that going forward, like we will. Like I say, I talked to some national folks that said they're kind of hearing the same thing. So we'll see. We're going to go into a weekend here. There's some people that believe that this player was probably going to get traded this week. I think Albert Breer was one of those. I don't want to misquote Albert Breer, but I think he was pretty adamant about that. Trey Wingo seems to think that, yes, Dallas was in this, but now maybe not because of the 2 1s. He thinks that Philadelphia is clearly in on this one, and then the Chicago Bears were also in on this one. So, but from the Cowboys' perspective, or the Cowboy angle of it, I'm getting from them that there just has not been an offer made. So I'll ride with that one right now.
So if we had to connect dots and put pieces together, you talk to your people. You also talk to some of your media friends. I also talk to some of my media friends, Bryan. So what it basically sounds like, and tell me if I'm wrong, it sounds like to me, this is what I'm saying, the Cowboys are heavily inquiring about Maxx. They haven't put money on the table, but they're heavily inquiring. And maybe as a result of that, the Raiders are maybe working their phone to see what the water looks like so that they can have a good idea of what to kind of ask the Cowboys for. You kind of feel like that's what's going on, Bryan?
Yeah, I think the Cowboys are clearly at the table. I just don't think they've pushed any chips anywhere. They might be sitting this hand out or just kind of waiting to see what the flop looks like. I just kind of, it just seems to me that, that Dallas, I think they're going to be aggressive in free agency. We talked about that. This could be one of those ways of doing it. It's not free agency, but it's team building. And so I think Dallas is interested. I just don't feel like that if the way I asked the question to my source there was that it in a way of like, hey, listen, do you want to shoot down this Trey Wingo stuff? And their response basically was, there's nothing to shoot down. There's nothing happening right now. So I want to believe that they're probably talking, but it doesn't sound like to me that they're, and I say it again, it doesn't sound like to me that they're interested in doing anything yet until they understand and maybe get a little bit more information about the situation. But I believe they're working on things. I just don't know if this is the number one priority thing on their list.
Kenny Rogers would be proud to see how the Cowboys moving here, Bryan. You know what I'm saying? By not just putting it all out there, jumping on anything. You know what I'm saying? You got to see what the business is.
Well, I hope I explained it well. Like I said, I was talking with some national media folks last night, and and they were like, "Listen, we want to believe that Dallas is in, but we're kind of hearing the same thing." And now, listen, maybe Dallas is trying to throw us off the scent of what's going on. And today, all of a sudden, Trey Wingo is going to report, Maxx Crosby's going to the Cowboys for this amount of, geez, that'd be exciting if that's the case. Yeah. But right now, I think all this talk has been a little premature about what the compensation is going to be. That's where I think it's premature right now.
Bryan, man, we got some players, man. We got some players. And look, appreciate everybody for tuning in with us, tapping in with us, you know what I'm saying? I feel like we were firmly in the fours, you know what I mean? I didn't think that we had a bunch more moving around. But Bryan, it just seems like the people that kind of put these boards together in a preliminary fashion, I want to know what kind of makes them so off a little bit. You know what I mean? We're going to talk about some of our guys here, Bryan, and we can have this not philosophical, but just this kind of conversation about it first. I'm going to go ahead and break the ice and spoil it. We'll talk about him last because he's the feature presentation. I got a 2 on Jaylen Farmer, Bryan, the guard from Kentucky. Okay. You might have a 3 on him, but you might have a 4. What you got on him, Bryan?
I do have a 4 on him though, and I'll let you have the floor on that one then.
Bryan, let me ask you a question, man. Why do you think Basantis, the guard from Texas A&M, is ranked so much higher than Jaylen Farmer?
I don't have either one of them particularly high. I have Basantis, and we had this discussion between myself, Zach Wolchuk, and Gavin Dawson driving over to the stadium. They liked him, like second round liked him. I'm not that kind of guy. I'm not that high on this particular player. I think I had him in the 3rd round. I mean, okay, 3rd round is significant, but people are talking about him as a high 2nd, maybe a 1st or what. I mean, not me. I always say this, I'll die on that hill. I have a problem with both these players' movement, and I really have a problem with the movement with the Kentucky player. I think he is a powerful guy. I think that you can watch him. You can watch him against Georgia. You can watch him against Florida. You can watch him against Auburn, and you could see a guy when it's solo blocks, combo blocks, those kinds of things. You could absolutely see the power in this guy, and you could also see it if people try and run over the top of him. He's going to sit down on you. So I just think that his movement skills, if you're asking him to do things as far as some of the pulling stuff. I think he was slow. I think he's slow out of his stance, to be honest with you. I just feel like, to me, when you start to talk about like having to set and when he can get his hands on you, he's fine. But the stuff that he has to do when they ask him to pull, to trap, I think he could be a step late on that. So I was kind of in that mode of like, man, I see a big square. It reminded me very much. Remember Will Hernandez, and he went in the second round from UTEP to the Giants. Reminded me very much. Will Hernandez was a 330-pound guy. Okay, this guy's 312 pounds. He doesn't move like a 312-pound guy. He moves like a 330 guy. And I thought there were some questions about him getting to the edge. I thought there were some questions about him getting second level. But when you start talking about playing in a phone booth, this cat can play in a phone booth. You play one-on-one, you move, you do that. Totally on board with this guy. But I think if you're asking him to do things athletically, that's where I had the struggles.
Man, Brian, sound like you describing Tyler Booker, man. What's going on?
No, Tyler Booker moves much better than this guy.
I mean, he does. But
Tyler Booker, you can watch Tyler Booker play second level football, and you can watch. And I'm not just talking about. There were some times where at Alabama, they pulled him to the edge, and it looked a little slow, a little sluggish. But this guy is slow, and then not being able to get guy out. When you're pulling and stuff. So that's where I'm at. I think Tyler Booker, to me, is a much better athlete than this guy is. I think this guy is a really strong, anchor down guy, hard to move. And that's why I said that Will Hernandez. I don't know if you remember him from UTEP, and the Giants took a big, massive guy, but he was powerful. He pushed people, but he didn't ever do anything to like help himself get up on somebody. So I have this guy in the fourth, and that Basantes from Texas A&M, probably should have him in the damn fourth too. But there's people, but Zach Wolchuk, and hey, shouts out to him, as you'd like to say. You watch the Texas and the Miami game, and he doesn't look as good playing against those guys. And Zach's like, well, damn, watch him against Auburn and watch him against some others. And I'm like, well, I'm watching him against Texas and Miami, who are like, I feel like those are pretty damn good defensive lines. If a guy's not playing well again, he's like, well, why don't you watch him a third game? I'm like, oh, well, okay. Maybe you're right about that. Maybe I have a feel on this guy. Maybe if I keep watching the same play over and over and over again, I'm like, okay, I have an understanding. I'm okay with that. So listen, hey, you can tell the listeners what you think about him. I know what I think about him. And I would like, it's not, hey, let somebody else be a hero. But yeah, if you're going to play in just a power scheme, this guy could play. But if you're going to ask him to do athletic things, I just don't feel like that's his cup of tea.
Now, see, Brian, I think that's where we about to largely disagree. Unless you got some film software where you got a slow down button that you hit on accident or something like that. I don't think, just based on how you describe him, I don't think he's terribly slow footed. Unless you're describing Markel Bell. Markel Bell. But Bell plays so tall. Bell has a natural problem because he can't bend his knees. I think even if he could, I think Bell is incredibly slow. I think Bell has like bad feet and he's kind of stiff and all that. What I see in Farmer is he may be a guy that's a little late off the ball, and his hat placement isn't always good, right? Like sometimes you got to get to the other shoulder when he's like doing something. But Brian, I don't think I saw a player that was terribly slow. We got graphics and shit, but I don't think he was a player that's terribly slow. Brian, I saw a guy that And look, when we breaking down guards is different than breaking down tackles, right? Because some of these tackles gonna play guards, some of these guards gonna play center or whatever. If I'm just looking at Jaylen Farmer as a guard and what's best for him, which would be some power system, like some man up power system, Brian, I don't see him as a guy that's horribly footed. He may not be incredibly footed. Some of these other guys, like Sam Hetch from Kansas State, he's incredibly footed. He's good footed for his size, right? But I see a guy in Farmer that can perform the blocks that you ask him to perform. Now, me and you have this little test about reaching. If he's a guard and he's reaching somebody to his outside shoulder, cool. I don't think Jaylen Farmer is a guy that can reach somebody that's on the outside shoulder of the tackle or anything like that. I don't think Jaylen Farmer is incredibly athletic, but I don't think that he's so unbelievably unathletic that he can't do his jobs. I think his down block steps are fine. I think his outside zone blocks versus the guys that are lined up in his gaps that he's covered by, I think it's fine. I think you're on to something about the downfield blocking. That's fair.
Well, to me, I think this guy's clearly a better run blocker. That is no question.
Sure.
Like I said, you could watch him against Georgia. Get underneath.
He's
those
assaulting
guys.
Georgia, Brian, and that's one of my biggest things here, right?
Oh no,
He's
absolutely.
Putting hands and feet on Kristen Miller that I got a 2 on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No. I totally agree with you on this. The thing about it is, I think to me right now, if you're going to tell me all of a sudden magically that he's not going to be laid out of his stance and he's going to be able to handle guys with some little bit better quickness and stuff like that, he's a killer when it comes to rushing him down. But you're not going to move this guy. You're absolutely not going to move this guy. Yeah. I respect that about him. I'm just saying, though, there are going to be some schemes and stuff like that where if you think he's going to be a puller, trapper, and all that, he's going to be a step late. And all of a sudden, if step late means, okay, boy, the defender's now there at the point of attack and has made the tackle. I listen. My lines and my thing is a much better blocker than a pass blocker at this point. His power's impressive, but I think he's limited. I think he's limited in some of the things he does with his feet. And so if you're kind of envisioning him to be like a poor man's Tyler Booker, I think that I would say, I agree on the power aspect of things. I just don't know about the athletic aspect of the things.
Oh, Brian, I totally agree that he's a killer with deficiencies, but I can't put killers in the fours. I can't put killers in the fours. I think he moves a little better than you think, Brian. And look, what'll end up happening, because of who me and you are. Whenever we have a big disagreement, this is me letting people in behind the curtain. I'm gonna go home and watch some more, and you may watch a little bit more, and we'll like text each other on Saturday and Sunday, like, all right, yeah, I see what you're saying when you did X, Y, Z.
I just listen. I respect the players at 312 pounds. I respect how he plays with power. I really do, and you could watch him against good teams do this. I mean, he'll set, and if you rush him down the middle, then there's going to be okay. But there's some times where they get gamed, and now you're playing the game of But fairness,
sure,
Tyler Booker had some issues with the Cowboys when it initially came to playing games and stuff like that.
Yeah, as far as
and I think he got better at it. But I am like I said, I've got him in the 4th. I got him a better than Campbell. The Basatis one, you know what? I'm gonna leave him in the 3rd. Rutledge, Dunker, those guys, I'm gonna keep them where they're at. But to me, you're probably right. I mean, you're probably right. He's probably going to go in the 3rd. But it reminded me so much of watching that Will Hernandez play from UTEP that the Giants took in the 2nd round.
Yeah,
it just was really good run blocking, but just never developed that well as a pass blocker because he had some limitations with his quickness.
A couple of more things too. And this is me disagreeing with you. I think he's a solid pass blocker too, Brad, because he has that one key. That one key.
He's strong.
He's strong as hell, Brad. Brad, he's strong as hell. So look, you ain't like, even if he's not in perfect position every time, I think I think that's like over aggression and stuff. But even if he's not in perfect position, he's strong as hell. And I see him stand grown Texas, Georgia dudes up, Brian. I think that.
Oh no, Auburn, Florida. Yeah, you can see it. No. You're not wrong about that. Like I said, I just want to point out the reason I docked him is because I was expecting a little bit better athlete at 312 pounds.
Yeah.
You know, I was expecting a little bit better athlete there. I think some of the guys that we've talked about before, you know, are a little bit better athletes. And so to me, that's the power stuff, man. If we're just going to sit there and just run block all day, draft this guy high. You know, I just think there's some physical limitations when it comes to movement. And I worry about if he's playing against guys that might be a little bit quicker than him off the snap. And then now they get in on him and he's not able to adjust. That's what I'm worried about.
So let's do this, Brian. Big, strong, so feet. Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
What round do you have Vega Ione from Penn State?
Got him in the second, and I got him below our Oregon guy.
Okay, so listen, why is Vega Ione a 2 and Farmer's a 4? Like why is it that much different between them?
I think that Ione, I think that he is
I'm gonna ask you tough questions today, Bryan Broaddus. Please go ahead.
No, that's not a tough question to me. That's not a tough question about the. You know, to me, when you look at him, and I'm looking at my notes right now, this is there's a little bit of narrow base in his play, and he could get knocked off. The thing about him is he could actually get out in space, and he could actually get. I think like one of my lines is moves fine for his size, plays with some quickness to hook and reach his man. Yeah. That's what I don't see in the other player.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's where I'm kind of drawing that line, you know. Good job of the coordinating, the balance, the repositioning. He could struggle at times with some lateral movement, said that, but this is where his base could get him in a little trouble. He gets a little narrow based. But I felt like that he moved better in space than what I saw from the Kentucky player.
Brian, I ain't even gonna lie. And let me just look at it like this. Do you have Awanye? I think it's Awanye. Vega Awanye is how you say the name. I'm not finna still be learning folk name. So look, I got
no. I think it's Awanye is how it's pronounced.
So second round, I got Vega from Penn State up top.
Yeah,
I got Farmer right there after him.
So you have him in the second round. Okay,
I got him in the second. Yeah, Jennings Dunker after him. Those are my 2s. My 3s, Prignon from Oregon, and I got J.C. Davis from Illinois. He's the tackle from Illinois, but I got him as a guard.
Okay.
And then my 4s, Rutledge, Basantis, and J.J. Wright from, or is it Jalen Wright? Wright from wherever the hell Wright from. But yeah, I got to figure out where the hell Wright from so I can put that in there because I forgot who the hell Wright is. Is he?
He's from Auburn.
Auburn. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Cool. I got him at guard. Brian, Jeremiah Wright. That's who that is. Brian, I ain't gonna lie, man. I'm high on this Farmer kid. I'm not going to ask you to rewatch them because you got a lot of stuff to do. But when you on that plane and you can download some stuff so you can watch it offline or whatever, Brian, just go back over it in full speed. You was watching film at half speed. Just watch it back in full speed, Brian. I think you might be wrong about this one, Brian. I don't know. It could be me, but it could be you. I'm going to go back and do some more. I've been watching a little bit sitting right here. I don't think he's slow, Brian. I don't think he's an incredible athlete. I don't think he's super good-footed, but I don't think he's slow and bad-footed. You know what I mean? But people say we don't disagree.
I just think he is. I think that when you watch him play, that there are times where he is laid off the ball.
That is true.
And I think that's going to get him in problem. He catches you right. He catches you right. He is a problem. That's it. No, there's a guy. I mean, the pass set, the hands. You could catch him right, but I also believe, though, to me, if you're going to be laid off the ball in the National Football League, there's going to be some problems here. So I fully understand and respect what you like in the player, because he does. He has got some poor man's Tyler Booker traits. He is a strong MFer. There's no question about that. I just worry about him just getting off the ball and playing a little bit in space. That's my biggest concern, is that for the player.
Yeah. Bryan, this is probably one of our biggest disagreements, but that's what this thing all about. You know what I'm saying? You held your ground, I held mine, and we'll let the people.
No, I'll go back. I'll be happy to go back. Yeah. I just, like I said, when you watch Kentucky play, they got some really good opponents. Mm-hmm. There's some good opponents you can watch this guy play. Some good tape for this guy. Sure.
All right, Bryan, I didn't even officially do the intro. We just jumped right into the argument, man. We just jumped right into fussing, but that's what it's all about. That's Jaylen Farmer. Where do you have Rutledge then from Georgia Tech? I got a 4 on Rutledge.
Yeah.
But I like him a lot, though. I like him a lot.
Yeah.
I just think that Farmer is much more physically strong versus better dudes. Rutledge playing in the ACC and all that. You don't recognize a lot of those guys that he's kind of having fights with or whatever. Bryan, look, in my notes,
I watched him against Georgia.
Bryan, that's fair, but Bryan, Georgia gave him a hard ass time, Bryan. In my notes, I put assaulting in all caps. Farmer's not just winning versus Georgia. He's not just stalemating. If he stalemates Georgia, that's fine. That's a win if you stalemate Georgia. He's assaulting Georgia off the line of scrimmage. He assaulted Florida. He assaulted Texas. Yeah, there's some things that you can fix and work. Don't smile at me. There's some things that he can fix and work on, Bryan. But he is capital A, capital ass assaulting these people, Bryan Broaddus. But we'll go back and look at it, man. We got a couple other players to talk about.
I hope he makes all pro. I really do.
Well, Bryan, come on, man. Come on. Why would you put that?
So you can pat yourself. So you can take your 36-inch arms and pat yourself on the back.
Why would you do that, Bryan? Come on, man. We might as well end the show there. We're gonna be. I don't think
we got some players.
I don't think the Markel Bell evaluation is going to be too long, Bryan. That's rare size.
Yeah, but that's a lot of problems going on there. I mean, and I mean this in a way. I'm not trying to just belittle the kid.
Sure.
I just think that, to me, it is really, really, really hard for a guy 6'9", 346 pounds to play.
Yeah,
I just do. And I will say there's some surprising things with the way he does move, because you can watch him in these playoff games and stuff against Texas A&M.
Let me back on the camera, please. Go ahead, please. Go ahead and finish. He moved like what?
Yeah. No, there's times where he moves okay. There's times. I mean, it's not quick and, but I was just saying, for a guy that's 346 pounds, 6'9". That's what I was saying.
Put me on camera too, please. Put us on camera.
Yeah. Don't make me stand up. I'll stand up in this hotel room.
I got a lot more studio space than you. Man, come on, man. You finna sit up here and tell me. Hold on, Bryan. We just fussed about Jalen Farmer and his movement, and I'll let you fight me about that.
Oh, I'm just saying, this guy's 346 pounds.
I didn't see not one play. I didn't see not one play of Markel Bell moving
He's lurchy. I guess you're right. I'm just saying, for 346 pounds, your guy's 312 pounds and can't block me.
It's false. That's false. Yeah, Bryan.
No, I'm just saying, for 6'9", and 346 pounds, it was pretty. I was surprised. I'm not, like I was saying, he's at a constant disadvantage. He plays really tall. They're going to run past him. I mean, there's going to be, this guy's not, I'm just saying, for 346 pounds, I'm arguing with you about a 312 pound guy. You're trying to convince me a 312 pound guy, and you said it with your own lips, that sometimes he's laying off the ball. You said it, not me. I said it because I believe he's laid off the ball. But you're fighting me. I'm just trying to point out the guy at 346 pounds was like, I was actually like, wow, okay, that guy that big, all right. I'm not saying I'm not taking him. I'm not taking this player. He struggles. He struggles with his mirror. He struggles with spin moves. He's got a high center of gravity. He lurches out of his base. He creates imbalance as a run blocker. He's below average agility and timing coming off the ball. He's 346 pounds. Your guy's 312 pounds, and he's got some of those issues himself.
Brian, I'm ashamed of you. I don't know what to say about you. You need some sleep. You've been on the road too much, man. You've been on the road too much, man.
I'm good. I'm totally good.
Brian, I got Markel Bell in the 5s, and I'd be damned if he ain't in the extra.
You know what? And I'm not saying you're wrong. You're right. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not saying that.
Where you got him?
I got him in the. He's in the 5th. He's in the 5th. I'm just pointing out the guy's 346 pounds, and there was some things that he did. I was like going, huh, okay. The length is impressive, though. By the way, the length is
very impressive. Look, Brian,
but he lets people get on him, which that's a problem.
If it's one thing that'll save him, it will be the length. But I don't think the other tools work well.
Oh, you want to be nice to the kid now?
I just got one positive note in my report, and that's about his length. All the other shit is about him not being able to bend and how damn slow his feet are. I don't say none of this about Farmer. I haven't seen Markeel Bell assault nobody. Capital ass assault nobody. But damn, Jaylen Farmer has SEC talent. I'd be damned.
Wow, that is amazing. You got that right. You can watch Markel. You can watch him play against Ole Miss if you want to.
They ran right around his ass. They ran circles. They ran circles, triangles, and rhombuses right around.
You can watch him against. You can watch him against Texas A&M. Hey, it's an SEC school.
Brian, I actually like Malachi Fields.
I do too.
I was his combine can be a bit upsetting.
Wow, you woke up. We can start the show now. You're actually scouting today. That's awful. And we're back.
Brian, Markel Bell's combine was a little upsetting. I can vouch for some guys
Tape's
that's
good
running.
Though, man. Tape's good. Tape's good, right?
Brian, the first tape I watched was Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
And maybe that's my
game
fault.
To watch.
Maybe that's my fault because I watched that one first and none of his other tape lived up to that one. But he gave Pittsburgh fits. I typically think with these kind of guys, Brian, they'll be better with dudes. They'll be better with better quarterbacks. You understand what I'm saying? He didn't have a whole bunch of catches and yards. And that makes sense to me because I don't think that his quarterback was doing a whole bunch of placement stuff. When I'm watching these receivers now, or just retroactively thinking about them, I think about what if they played with the best quarterback in the league? What if they played with Mendoza? What would their life be like? And if you have a player like Mendoza that's able to place the ball in different places, Malachi Fields will excel at that because he gets off the ground, he has body control, turns his body in the air and all that. Good idea where his feet are. He catches the ball over everybody, Brian.
Yes, sir. He sure does.
I looked up his contested catch numbers. It wasn't stupid high. It was like 28 contested opportunities, and he caught 11 of them. So there are some other guys that are better at that. Like Brazel. Brazel, Boston, and Tate. Like those guys being like bigger receivers, their rate of contested catch was a little better than Fields. But Brian, what I was able to see from Fields is when you watching the broadcast and Tony Romo be like, hey, he put the ball in the place where only the receiver can get it. That's a different level for Malachi Fields than anybody else. Because I've seen this dude jump up and backwards and catch the ball far away from a DB. So if you're a team that has a quarterback that can take advantage of that, I think not Markel Bell.
Malachi Fields.
Malachi Fields would fit you perfectly. One thing that I didn't like about Notre Dame is that they didn't open up his route tree, and I don't think he's the guy that's going to run a whole bunch of routes in general. But they ran a bunch of like hitches and curls with him, or like it'll be downfield or something like that. I don't think that's something that's really going to be used to what he does best, Brian, because when he stops and looks back at the quarterback, he's kind of tackled because he's long and it takes him a minute to turn or whatever. But when he's moving, he actually becomes kind of hard to tackle because he's so big. You know what I mean? So him as a movement yak guy, I thought that was really cool. He didn't let me down as a blocker. Sometimes big receivers don't block well, and I get mad because you big as hell. I want you to block good because you big as hell. Yeah. He kind of did his thing as a bigger blocker receiver, so I'm cool with that. I do have him in the 4s though. Just because of the route running, the route tree, speed, and all this kind of stuff, it just wasn't good. But if he's in a situation where the quarterback can get the ball to him and the OC has a good feel for how to use him, and he has a good partner on the other side, I think he's a bona fide X receiver and he'll be good to go, Brian. What you think?
Man, it's amazing. You woke up this morning. Good for you.
I've been scouting good this whole time.
Good for you for waking up.
I won't tell the people what you told me on the phone driving in here, Brian, but go ahead.
Good for you. Good for you, sir. Waking up and having a feel on a player, man. I you know what? Hey, some days you go on the road and you have bad school calls.
I'm not on the road.
Sometimes
you on the road.
Sometimes you go to Lexington, Kentucky, and you just, man, you love the white picket fences and you love the pretty countryside. And look at that. Is that Seattle Slew, the Triple Crown winner horse racer? Holy jeez, boy, this Lexington, Kentucky's a beautiful place.
You don't bother me.
Look at their players. Look at that. Who's that number 52 out there?
You don't bother me.
Ooh, that's a good looking player.
You've been on the road for a month. Your eyes work worse than mine right now, so don't even play with me. But please, I guess we agree on Malachi Fields.
I can't lie to you about that. My eyes do need to be checked. I think you nailed this kid. This kid's a true X receiver, by the way. I mean, he is he's 6'5", he's 218 pounds. He does have the elite type size, the strength, the high point talent, everything you talked about, Voch. You're absolutely right about that. I think to me that the biggest issue is that his quarterback play just did him absolutely no favors. I think you make an excellent point about that. This guy's got the ability to kind of separate himself, because just when the ball goes in the air and the defender tries to react, it's already a catch. I mean, this guy, you talk about the contested catches and stuff, but the Pitt game was a really good game to start. Texas A&M, Florida State, a couple other games that I got to watch. But this guy it's 4.61. And I just remember a guy like Anquan Bolden, and Anquan Bolden coming out of Florida State so many years ago. And Walter Juliff, scout for the Cowboys at the time, says, I don't care where you MFers put this guy's going to play in this league and he's going to play well. I have a feeling that Malachi Fields might be that guy if he gets to the right team, because I do think he has an understanding of how to go get the football. And if he gets with the guy, as you said, a coordinator that can kind of, you're not going to move him around much as an X, but there's things you could do with him, the red zone stuff, getting first downs, the slant stuff. This guy catches the ball really, really well. So I have him in the 4th round as well.
This running back is interesting, ain't he, Brian?
Interesting guy. Yeah.
Running back's a little fascinating there. Jmari Taylor.
Yeah.
Virginia. He got some interesting traits, man. You know what I'm saying? Why don't you go ahead and break him down for us, and me and you will not fight about him, because I like him a little bit. But go ahead, Jmari Taylor.
Yeah, I tell you what, I like this guy too. And when you watched him play, let me swing to my notes here if I could. He's a transfer from North Carolina Central. And so he's 5'10", he's 199 pounds. I'll tell you what stands out about him is his contact balance. I mean, he takes hits, and linebackers hit him, safeties hit him, and he's kind of able to kind of keeps going without getting knocked down. You could see him get kind of an extra, 2-3 yards just after contact, because they think they got him wrapped up or they bounce off him and that kind of thing. I think the vision between the tackles is really, really good for this player. I think he shows some patience. He kind of lets some blocks develop, and then he's able to hit the crease and all that. He can make defenders miss. We talked about bouncing off guys, but if you look at the metrics, I went back, I was like curious. This guy had 54 missed tackles. I mean, he created 54 missed tackles. in 2025. So he runs with some nastiness in the way he plays. He's not going to go out of bounds or anything like that. Man, he could pass protect we've seen some of these smaller guys that are able to kind of step up and meet the guys square. Lack of size look, but he's not afraid to do it. But I've seen him kind of knock guys, kind of stalemate guys right there. I think the receiving skills were pretty good. This guy's got some of those complete back elements that I like about him. I just think that there's some teams that are going to I don't know if he's going to be a featured guy, but maybe a complimentary guy, but he has the elements of really all three things to his game. Around the goal line, he's a finisher. He's a good short yardage runner. He's got the power, but man, he gives you something running the ball. He gives you something catching the ball, but he legitimately tries to pass block, which we've seen some of these running backs not be able to do that.
I agree, Brian. He's interesting because he's a shorter, kind of smaller power back, though. You know what I'm saying? But he does have some pretty good burst. And look, I kind of had to figure this out a little bit, right? Because sometimes it looked like he's home run guy, but sometimes he gets caught from behind. What I think is that he got a real good burst of about 20 yards. Maybe 20 to 25 yards. And if he got to go real long, he might get caught. But within 20 or 30 or so, he got some bursts out the hole with Bryan Broaddus. He can catch, but I wouldn't call him like a route runner. You know what I'm saying? He don't really run a whole bunch of routes, but they do throw it and he does catch it. I think he has the ability and willingness to pass block, but sometimes it may be assignment, sometimes it may be size, right? Like him just being kind of smaller and somebody just bumping into him or whatever. That could be a deficiency, but I wouldn't say that he's a guy that's just kind of gonna bullfight out there. One of these running backs out there, bullfight, and I forgot who it was that I was making fun of that one time. But I don't have that same issue with Taylor. I think you broke him down well, Brian. I think his contact balance and him being like a tough finishing runner with that little burst in the middle, I think that's going to give him a lot of eyes. Though he's one of those dudes that seems like he's going to go late, but when he gets to the league, he'll be fine. Like what's our guy with the Bears? Kyle. Manung guy from Rutgers last year. Got the same feel, not really home run guy, but great contact balance, and he'll be fine in the league, but drafted later. I got a 4 on him, Brian. Where you got him?
Yeah, I'll take him in the 4th round too. And I've got those running backs kind of stacked in there in the 4th, and I was trying to kind of put him. I'm gonna try and give a guy a little bit more love if he can potentially do all three things. And I do love the toughness. So I know that we've had this discussion about Washington from Arkansas. I do think the Washington is a better player. Allen I really like in that round. Moss as well from Texas A&M. Singleton from Penn State. I think he's kind of below all those guys, ahead of like Ott, Claiborne, and McGowan from Kentucky. So I've kind of got him in that mode.
Brian, one last thing for you. That's all of our players, by the way. Spotrac says, they came out on Twitter. What my man's here? Michael Giannetti from Spotrac. They just tweeted.
They do the contracts and stuff. They give them an over the cap or the contract people.
They say, if it comes to a head, a team acquiring edge Maxx Crosby will be able to process a simple salary conversion on his contract that will drop his cap hit from $30 million to $7.7 million. Does that make you kind of put the foot on the gas a little bit, Brian, that you can get this guy, get him down to $7 million, and that'll leave you some more bread to go spend in free agency, Brian?
Yeah, it's always inviting. If you have more money, I'd like to follow up with maybe some cap guys and see if that's actually the case. And I'm not saying that I'm almost said our good friends over there at Spotrac. We're not friends with them. They promote, they do stuff. But I would like to see if I can ask somebody in the league, a couple of different guys, if in fact there is that conversion number that takes him from 30 to 7. If that's the case, then that's something I think that's very inviting for a lot of people to look at, for sure.
Yeah, fair enough, Brian. Good talk today. Good fight. I'm gonna.
Hey, can I ask you? Can I ask you a real quick question? I don't think it's going to be quick.
Sure.
I don't think this is a quick question. Since you're doing that, since you're bringing up, Bobby Belt asked me this question, and I just want to throw it out there if I could.
What do you say?
Okay, Bobby asked me this question, and maybe he did it on his show this morning, but let's see if I could do it. Just give me about 7 minutes here, guys. I'm sorry I'm doing this, but here we go. You have a choice of take one. It says choose your own adventure is what Bobby said. Bobby said this were his scenarios. Trade pick 20 and a 2027 first rounder for Maxx Crosby. Draft Mansour Delane at 12. Sign Jalen Thompson, who is the Arizona Cardinals safety, and Nakobe Dean. That's option one. And I say this because I know about Jalen Thompson. He's like he's a true free safety. You would like him watching him as a player. Yeah. You would like him because he can play back. He can play off the hash. Things in front of him. He really attacks it well. Sure. I think he's a legitimate. I see why the Cowboys are interested in him. But that's group one. Draft Sonny Styles, Colton Hood, sign Trey Hendrickson, and Reed Blankenship. That's group two.
Okay.
Draft Ruben Bain, Dylan Thieneman, sign Jalen Phillips, Alta Taylor, the corner from the Saints, and Quay Walker, the linebacker from the Green Bay Packers.
I like the first option because I think that's where all the better dudes are. I think Maxx is the better edge out of all of them. Delane is the better corner out of all of them.
You'll take a peek. You could take a peek at Jalen Thompson. And I think you would like him at safety. I think you would. I kind of understand. You're a good evaluator. I just think you would like him if you watched him play.
I believe Thompson and then Dean. Hell yeah. I'm taking the first one because I think out of all of those, I get all the best guys in the conversation. Some people could vouch that maybe Quay Walker is healthier than Dean or something like that. But I'm gonna bank on Dean coming in knowing exactly what Christian Parker wants, and I would imagine that that'll help you more, and that'll probably help your room a little bit more. Hell yeah, I'm going with that first.
Yeah, I went with number one too, and I felt like I knew the players better than one. Mm-hmm. I do like number three though. I do like the Ruben Bain, Thieneman, Jalen Phillips, Taylor. I like that. Walker. That one gave me a little bit of like, really? Okay.
I like three also, but the thing about three is that we're draft guys. But outside looking in, the better edge and safety combo is with one. You know what I'm saying? And look, Bain and Thieneman may be better in year 5 than Maxx and Jalen what's-his-face are going to be in 5 years or whatever. Uh-huh. But I'm really focused on the next 3 to 5 years with Dak. Dak.
You've convinced me about this Dak window. Mm-hmm. Thank you for that. I mean, I'm like, me, draft, dude, draft, develop, Nah, you've got a quarterback. You need to find a way to maximize the next 3 years.
Yeah, Bain will be a much better player in year 20, 30 or something. You know what I'm saying? But by the time we get to 2030, it's a whole nother conversation, please.
And I promise this is the last one I got for you then.
What?
Styles, Hood, Bain, Thieneman. Which one?
Bain, Thieneman. Styles, Hood are 2 2s. Bain, Thieneman is a 1 and a high 2 for me.
There you go. Yeah, I thought the same thing too. Yeah, I thought the same thing.
For sure. So I mean, good discussion there, but those groups are easy.
But you weren't bothered. You weren't bothered giving up 20 and a 1 next year. Then
Brian, they can. Man, look, man. So look, I will say this: in the event that next year's draft class could be a little better, that may factor into it. But if I got Maxx and company, I don't plan on being in the teens. No way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I agree.
And this kind of goes to my biggest point about trading both the damn picks this year, right? Yeah. I think people have a hypothetical mysticism about what 12th overall is. I was listening to Wingo yesterday, and Wingo was talking, and he was talking about the 12th overall pick only as a pick. I don't look at 12th overall pick only as a pick because I got names and faces now. And I really think the biggest blow to this discussion, somebody on Twitter almost made me mad, but they didn't. It was like, Voch, you was just saying a couple of weeks ago how bad you want to draft, and now Maxx get here and you acting like ain't no players going to be available at 12. Okay, when you get more information, you allowed to change your mind, right?
Yeah,
Bryan,
true.
I think the biggest blow to this discussion is how the Cowboys view Jermall McCoy, the cornerback from Tennessee. If McCoy would have worked out and he looked good and he ran fast, barring injury, he's the 5th player on my board, Bryan. So if he was all good to go and Dr. Cooper and Dr. Hella Trash would have said, hey, man, McCoy good to go, then that's another dude that we feel good about. I ain't even worried about the Downs knee stuff right now, whatever. That's another element to it, but I ain't super worried about it. But when you take Jermall McCoy off the board, we already got this situation where you feel like only one quarterback's going top 12, and that's Mendoza. Now the likelihood of guys falling to you just keep getting lower and lower and lower. And I can't unthink about Daniel Jeremiah's mock draft where all your guys are gone. Yeah. And we looking at Colton Hood. Yeah. And then we find out the Cowboys like Colton Hood. And we don't know how much they like Colton Hood. They could 20 like Colton Hood, or they can 12 like Colton Hood. If it's up to me and you say, Voch, Colton Hood or Maxx Crosby for 3 years, Cassius Howell or Maxx Crosby for 3 years.
I don't disagree with you. I do not disagree
every time, Bryan, because that's how
I don't disagree. Yeah,
that's how
I don't disagree.
Now
with
look, I'm not foolish. If Arvell Reese rob a bank and he's available by some magic wave of the wand, Voch, I promise you, Arvell Reese is available at 12. That's different. Bailey's available at 12. Okay, cool. That's kind of different, right? Dog, at 12 overall, man, we staring at second round grades. And who knows what? I'm willing to shoot that dice and say, "Give me Maxx, man, for this run, for this window."
Well said, my brother. Well said. Well said,
you, man. Appreciate you, Bryan. Hey, man, we got some players, man. Hey, see what we talking about, Bryan. We got some players for Monday. Hopefully, Bryan have a better day with these guys than he did today.
Yeah, I was, it's amazing how some days I'm really, really good at this. Like I felt like I was really good at Kentucky, you know. I feel like I could had a good handle on Kentucky.
I was fantastic. I was fantastic.
I don't know, man. I think I was
fantastic at Lexington.
I think you were looking in the fields and like, look how nice this field looks. It's beautiful out there.
I was in the comfort of my own office. I wasn't on the road when I was watching. You was watching them in some baseball booth or something. Bryan,
right here behind me. Right here behind me.
For Monday, March 9th, we got 5 players because that's how we get down on Mondays, y'all.
Yeah.
Ted Hurst, wide receiver from Georgia State. That's a guy that's pretty high on Dane Brugler's mock.
Yeah, I know what you're doing here. I like it.
Now, Bryan, you know how I feel about the little schools, man, about the schools that big. But,
better walk on water.
But he's high on Brugler's mock, so I want to give him a shot. So we'll see. Austin Barber, offensive tackle from Florida.
Okay.
Billy Schraith, and he looked like a Billy Schraith. Billy Schraith, guard from Notre Dame.
Okay.
Chris McClellan, defensive tackle from Missouri. And I've heard this name a whole bunch. Bishop Fitzgerald, the safety from USC. We have an action-packed Monday edition of the Doing All Right podcast, and that's your homework assignment. It will be on the test. And we'll get back to y'all and let y'all know how that goes. We'll break down the grades. Bryan Broaddus, appreciate you for being here, sir.
Thank you, man. Appreciate all your work, guys. Appreciate everybody out there.
Indubitably. Hey, man, in case y'all want to know where can we find anything, you can find it on our website, crownglobemedia.com. We're pushing these stacked draft notebooks. We like them a bunch. I got 5 of them at the crib. I like to write stuff down. I do type, but I do a lot of writing because that's who I am. Go over there and get you one. We got the quarters over there. You know what I'm saying? We got some hats over there, tumblers over there, whatever you want. It's at the store. But the store is on the website, crownglobemedia.com. The other shows are up there. My work is up there, and we're gonna put both draft boards up there as well. You can find mine on Twitter right now, but both draft boards will be up there. Crown Globe Media on Twitter, and I'm Voch Lombardi in case y'all were looking for it, all right? And we'll catch y'all Monday. We love you. Crown.